It's not too late, not even close. No matter how old you are, how many mistakes you've made, or how long you've felt stuck, the Stoics would tell you that the power to begin again is still yours, right now, in this exact moment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." It sounds grim at first, but there's something liberating hidden inside those words. He's reminding you that time is uncertain, but control is not. You don't control how long you live, but you do control how you live. And that, according to the Stoics, is where transformation begins. Not in some distant future, not when things are easier, but in this very breath you're taking. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow, next week will be different," or "Once I fix everything, I'll change"? We all have. We postpone our potential waiting for the right time, as if transformation follows a schedule. But Epictetus would shake his head at that idea. He'd say, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" The Stoics didn't believe in waiting. They believed in acting. They knew that every second wasted in hesitation was a moment stolen from our highest selves. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to erase your past. What you need is courage, to face yourself honestly, and to begin again, even if you feel unprepared. Let me tell you a story. There was once a Roman general who, after losing everything, his command, his wealth, his reputation, was exiled to a remote province. Most people would have collapsed under the weight of that fall, but not him. Instead, he took a long walk one morning, looked at the sunrise and said to himself, "If I can no longer command an army, I will command myself." That simple decision changed everything. He studied philosophy, wrote letters, and trained his mind to become unbreakable. Years later, his wisdom inspired thousands. That man was Seneca, the same Seneca whose words still echo today, teaching us that adversity is not an obstacle, but the training ground of transformation. The truth is, transformation isn't a sudden event. It's a daily practice. The Stoics believed that life's turning points happen quietly, inside our own choices. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up one day as a wise emperor. He became one through consistent reflection, self-discipline, and humility. Epictetus wasn't born a philosopher. He was born a slave. Yet he used every painful experience as fuel to strengthen his character. Seneca didn't escape hardship. He learned to turn suffering into insight. Their stories prove something essential. Life will test you, but it's never too late to change how you respond. You might not control what happens, but you can always control what it means. So, let me ask you, what would happen if you stopped waiting for the right moment? What if you decided that this is your moment? Not after you heal, not after you succeed, not after you figure it all out. Right now. Because every day you delay, you reinforce the belief that transformation lives somewhere in the future. But every small act of courage, every time you choose discipline over comfort, presence over distraction, and purpose over fear, you reclaim the power the Stoics spoke of. The power of this very instant. The power to transform your life at any moment. Let's be honest, starting over feels terrifying. The moment you decide to change, you immediately meet resistance. The mind begins whispering, "It's too late. You've already failed too many times. You're not good enough to begin again." That voice is what the Stoics called the inner tyrant, the part of your mind that clings to comfort and fears uncertainty. But Marcus Aurelius had a way of silencing it. He wrote, "If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining." It's simple, but it cuts deep. What he's really saying is this: stop negotiating with your fear. You can't reason with the part of you that's afraid of growth. You can only act your way through it. And that's the secret. The Stoics never talked about motivation. they talked about action. Transformation doesn't come from feeling ready. It comes from moving forward even when you're not. Epictetus taught that there are two things in life: what's within your control and what's not. That single idea is one of the most powerful tools for transformation ever written. When you truly grasp it, you stop wasting energy on the past. You stop trying to rewrite things that already happened. Instead, you focus on your response, your effort, your discipline, because those are yours no matter what. The Stoic path is not about erasing your history. It's about redeeming it. Every mistake you've made, every regret you carry, can become material for growth if you stop running from it. Think of your past not as a weight holding you down, but as a forge: heat, pressure, and pain, refining you into something stronger. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Those words are a mirror for anyone who has ever procrastinated their own becoming. It's not too late, but it will be if you keep convincing yourself that tomorrow is safer. Imagine if Marcus Aurelius had told himself, "I'll practice virtue once my empire is peaceful." He never would have become the philosopher king. Imagine if Epictetus had said, "I'll start my philosophical journey once I'm free." He would have died in chains, both physical and mental. Instead, they acted now. They turned their circumstances into classrooms. They transformed their pain into wisdom. And that's your challenge too, to look at your situation, however imperfect, and ask, what is this moment trying to teach me? You might be facing heartbreak, failure, or confusion about who you're supposed to be. You might feel like life has passed you by. But the Stoics would say that those very feelings are the invitation to begin again. Marcus would tell you to waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. Seneca would remind you that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And Epictetus would ask, who is your master? The one who controls what you desire or fear. In those three teachings lies the entire blueprint for transformation. Don't argue, act. Don't wait, prepare. Don't serve fear, master it. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary without even realizing it, by practicing daily, quietly, without applause. But here's the paradox. The more you focus on changing everything at once, the less you actually change. The Stoics knew that transformation happens one decision at a time. When you choose not to complain about what you can't control, when you wake up and do what must be done, not what feels good. When you forgive yourself without giving yourself permission to quit. Every act of discipline is a declaration that it's not too late. The world won't see your effort right away, but inside something shifts. You stop living as a victim of time and start living as its master. The Stoics didn't chase new lives, they built them moment by moment. And so can you. Every transformation begins with an awakening, a moment when you realize that your old way of living no longer serves you. For some, it's a quiet awareness, a subtle feeling that something's missing. For others, it's a collapse, losing everything they thought defined them. The Stoics believed that both moments were sacred. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacle isn't there to stop you, it's there to shape you. Think about that. Your failures, heartbreaks, and disappointments aren't the end of your story. They are the very materials from which your new life is built. It's not too late to begin again, because the very pain you wish you could erase is the raw energy that can fuel your rebirth. Take Epictetus as an example. He was born into slavery, beaten by his master, and lived in poverty for years. Yet instead of breaking him, those experiences carved out a strength of spirit few could imagine. When he was finally freed, he didn't seek revenge or luxury. He chose wisdom. He said, "Difficulties show what men are." And through every hardship, he trained his mind to remain calm, rational, and centered, no matter what life threw at him. Today, we read his words as ancient wisdom, but they were once survival strategies. They were his lifeline. The Stoics remind us that your power doesn't come from escaping hardship. It comes from mastering your response to it. And that means every challenge you face is not a setback, but an invitation to rise. Seneca also understood this truth deeply. After being exiled by Emperor Claudius, he could have surrendered to bitterness. Instead, he used isolation as a chance to sharpen his philosophy. He wrote letters that would outlive empires. In one, he said, "No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity." What he meant was simple. Comfort deceives us into thinking life should be easy, that progress should be smooth. But discomfort is what wakes us up. It humbles us. It reminds us that we are not victims of fate. We are participants in it. The Stoics saw every storm as an opportunity to strengthen the soul. And the more they faced adversity, the more unshakable they became. The same can be true for you if you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now?" Marcus Aurelius faced the weight of an empire, wars, plagues, betrayal, and loss. Yet he never used those as excuses to give up on his principles. He journaled each night, not to complain, but to refine his thoughts. He reminded himself that control begins in the mind. That discipline is freedom. That wisdom is action, not theory. He practiced gratitude, even in the darkest moments. He turned his own suffering into guidance for others, for us. And that's why his meditations still move people 2,000 years later. Because he proved that transformation isn't reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It's earned through courage, humility, and consistency. So when you feel like it's too late, remember this. The Stoics didn't become great in comfort. They became great in chaos. Their power came from their response to uncertainty. And that's where your power lies too. You can't control whether the world changes for you, but you can decide to change within it. You can choose stillness over panic, courage over regret, and gratitude over resentment. That choice, made daily, quietly, relentlessly, is how you rebuild your life. The Stoics didn't just survive history, they transcended it. And if you're willing to meet life on its terms, with courage and calm, then you too can transform right here, right now, before this moment passes. Now, let's bring this closer to your world, the one filled with deadlines, distractions, and digital noise. You might not be facing exile like Seneca or slavery like Epictetus, but you're fighting a quieter battle, the war within your own mind. Every morning, your phone wakes you before your purpose does. You scroll, compare, and question your worth before you've even stood up. The Stoics didn't have social media, but they understood this struggle perfectly. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The moment you take your attention back from what drains it, you begin the process of transformation. Because modern suffering isn't just physical, it's mental. It's the exhaustion of chasing validation instead of virtue, approval instead of alignment. Stoicism offers a radical antidote to this modern chaos. Focus only on what you can control. You can't control how people perceive you, but you can control your character. You can't control external success, but you can control your effort. You can't stop change, but you can choose your attitude toward it. And that shift, from external obsession to internal mastery, is where true transformation happens. The Stoics called it living in accordance with nature, which means aligning your mind with reality, not fantasy. It means accepting what is, while working on who you can be. You don't need to escape your environment to change. You need to master your reaction to it. That's the heart of every Stoic teaching. Control your mind, and the world loses its power over you. Let me give you a modern example. Imagine someone who spent years stuck in a job they hate. They feel too old to change, too invested to start over. But one day they read a passage from Seneca. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. That line hits differently. They realize they have been living on autopilot, mistaking routine for purpose. The next morning they wake up a little earlier, not to escape their job, but to rebuild their mindset. They start journaling, reflecting, reading philosophy. They choose discipline over distraction. Slowly they feel their energy shift, not because their life changed overnight, but because their attitude did. This is the Stoic way. Transformation through consistent, deliberate self-mastery. Small steps, repeated daily, that realign you with your higher self. And yet, even with all this wisdom, many people still ask, but what if it's too late for me? The Stoics would smile at that question. Marcus Aurelius became emperor in his late 30s, a time when most thought life was already written. Seneca rediscovered purpose in exile. Epictetus built his philosophy after decades of hardship. Time, to the Stoics, wasn't an enemy, it was an ally. Every second was a fresh opportunity to practice virtue, to improve, to begin again. As Marcus said, the present moment is all the life one ever truly has. So if you're waiting for the perfect time to transform, this is it. The present is your second chance. The fact that you're even watching this video, reflecting on these ideas, means you're already changing. Awareness itself is the beginning of transformation. Remember this. Your environment will always try to pull you back into comfort, distraction, and doubt. That's the world's gravity. Stoicism teaches you how to break free from it through focus, discipline, and clarity. It's not about suppressing emotion or pretending to be unshakable. It's about training your mind to stay steady amidst the storm. You can still feel pain, but you don't have to become it. You can still fall, but you can rise with wisdom. Every time you resist the urge to complain, blame, or escape, you win. That's Stoicism in practice. And those are Smentis, all inner victories. They compound. One day, you'll look back and realize the truth. Transformation didn't happen all at once. It happened every day you chose not to give up. And now, here you are, listening to these words, thinking about your own life, wondering if it's still possible to change. Let me tell you something the Stoics would want you to know. The fact that you are questioning, reflecting, and seeking truth means the transformation has already begun. The first step isn't doing, it's awakening. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." If you can feel that, really feel it, then you've already started living differently than most of the world. Most people sleepwalk through life, lost in routine, distracted by noise. But you are choosing awareness. You're choosing to see this moment as sacred. And that's where rebirth begins. Seneca said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." The life you want might require letting go of the one you've been clinging to. It might mean forgiving yourself for the years you wasted or the choices you regret. It might mean walking away from comfort and stepping into the unknown. That's courage, the kind that Stoicism is built on. Transformation doesn't demand perfection, it demands honesty. You can't build a new life while defending your old excuses. You can't move forward while staring backward. The Stoics would tell you, clean your inner house. Sweep away resentment, fear, self-pity. Those are the chains that keep you from becoming who you're meant to be. Every time you release one, you get lighter, you get freer, you become more yourself. But let's make this practical. If you truly want to transform, start where the Stoics did, with your mind. Each morning before you touch your phone, ask yourself 3 questions. What can I control today? What kind of person do I want to be? And what would I regret not doing? Those questions anchor you in Stoic clarity. Throughout the day, practice awareness. When something frustrates you, pause, breathe, ask, can I change this, or can I only change my reaction? That's Stoic meditation in motion, training your mind in real time. At night, reflect. Marcus Aurelius did this every evening. Write down what went well, what didn't, and what you learned. That simple act, done daily, reshapes the architecture of your mind. Over time, you stop being ruled by impulse and start being guided by principle. Transformation is not dramatic. It's not a cinematic revelation or a viral moment. It's the slow, deliberate rebuilding of your inner fortress. Every act of discipline lays another brick. Every moment of patience strengthens the foundation. Every time you choose virtue over vanity, you fortify your spirit. And one day, without realizing it, you'll wake up and see how far you've come. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. That's the Stoic victory, not the absence of struggle, but the mastery of it. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." So be patient with your progress. The fact that you're still here, still trying, still learning, is proof that it's not too late. It never was. So, before this video ends, pause for a moment. Look around you. Feel the air in your lungs, the weight of this moment, the pulse of life moving through you. This is your reminder that you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be to begin again. The Stoics didn't teach escape. They taught engagement. They didn't teach detachment from life. They taught participation with purpose. And that's your call to action. Participate in your own becoming. Stop waiting for permission. Stop fearing imperfection. And start living as if this day were your first and your last. Because one day it will be. But if you live by Stoic principles, courage, wisdom, self-control, and justice, you'll meet that down, not with regret, but with peace. It's not too late to transform your life. It never was. The only question left is, will you start now?